everyone. Welcome to God's According to CD. So let's go to Johannesburg High Court. I know that the judgment is coming out on the 3rd of November 2025, which is tomorrow. And guys, here are my predictions as to how the judgment is going to go. I think that the traders are partially going to win this battle. And please hear me out why I believe so. I believe that in 2013 and 2014, probably even 2016, the very same organization, Siri, did go to court and took the city of Johannesburg. And of course, in those times, they did win. And one of the ruling in that court was that the city of Johannesburg needs to find them an alternative place to trade. And that never took place, by the way. Yes, we do see like designated what you would call marketplace um, structures. If you go to Kerk Street going towards Bank City, you are actually going to see such structures on Kerk. I think they almost the entire Kerk Street is designated for such, but that was built back in the early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken, because of the very same issue that was happening with South Africans setting up tables along the pavements. And so the then city of Johannesburg was like, no, 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 we need to keep law and order and the bylaws. And the bylaws back then did not necessarily speak on vendors and hawkers that set up on pavements. The law was pretty vague, and but they did have like signs. For example, signs on where cars are allowed to park and where cars are not allowed to park. Back in the day, there used to be like these meters. I don't know if you remember those meters. If you park, you put a rand and then you twist that thing. It always looked weird to me. I don't know why this government got rid of it because it gave you it kind of kept it controlled the traffic. It controlled also the breaking of the bylaws. No vehicle will park there the entire day, like how the Somalis and the Ethiopians that have these shops in downtown Johannesburg, where they literally put these yellow cones to mark that this parking is not for anybody but for the store management and their delivery trucks. Which, by the way, it is against the law because the citizens of the city of Johannesburg pay taxes so they are able to park their cars. Hence, they removed those meters. And I remember there was a time where a friend of mine and I were going down to this. We're coming from, I think it was, where were we coming from? I can't remember where we. Oh no, no, I was living in Durban at this point, and I came to Joburg for a meeting, and it just so happened that the venue was right next to a Pakistani shop, and we needed to park our hired car at the airport, and they had these cones. So I got out of the car and I removed the cones. Tell me why this Pakistani guy comes sprinting out of his shop and saying, "Hey, you're not allowed." And I'm like, "Do you have permit for you to put these cones here? I'm a taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer, and if you are going to remove this, please call the Metro Police." They did call the Metro Police, and the Metro Police were like, and I was like, "Sir, this is illegal." And the fact that you're a Metro Police officer telling me we pay taxes here unless you can show me a sign that says I am not allowed to park here. And of course, when he realized that I knew my story, they told the Pakistani guys, let them park. Let them park. So these are the bylaws that were not being enforced. As a matter of fact, they were being violated by the city of Johannesburg Metro Police themselves. They were allowing this destruction of our laws and the disrespect of our bylaws, and because they would take bribes, they would take protection fees, they would take all these nonsense that are not supposed to be taken from the public, because of course it's going to taint integrity. It was going to taint the respect of the citizens towards the law as well and the law enforcement. That is why a video that I posted, I think about a week or 2 weeks ago, where Pakistanis were basically beating up a police officer. And I said, those police officers are the ones that created this environment. They no longer see them as people to respect and also fear, but people that they've made friends with. And now, because things are hitting the fan, now they want to be seen to be working, they're getting beat up type of situation. So, the point that I'm trying to make judgment is that because the city of Johannesburg failed to find them an alternative business um, district, let's put it that way, therefore they will be temporarily reinstated to continue trading while the city of Johannesburg has to go and put together bylaws that are not going to be violated by street traders. And I do believe they're going to go back. All of that work that has been done, it's going to be undone. It's going to be undone by the judgment. However, though, I believe that the judgment will also put very strict conditions to the traders when they return. Keep the place clean. Make sure that you are not selling unwarranted products and all that stuff. That is my thinking that the judgment is going to go. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the judgment is in favor of the city of Johannesburg. However, amongst those street traders, there are South Africans because South Africans need to come first. Always, always. This is their country, and they are very much affected by what is happening in the city of Johannesburg. And therefore, I feel like the judgment should say South African street traders should be reinstated and also temporarily while they are applying for permits with the new bylaws that are being enacted and so that they can trade without fear going forward. And then the illegal foreigners, well, where's Home Affairs? Because Home Affairs is the one that needs to regulate this. That means Home Affairs must visit these sites on a regular basis and then arrest those that are illegally in the country. Those that are legal in the country, they must also determine what sort of business they're allowed to trade in on the street. Vegetables and fruit and dunusa, that's for South Africans. That's for South Africans. Everything else, well, let's see where we can put them. And then on top of that, make it illegal for any South African that subleases their permits. The moment the city of Johannesburg discovers that a South African is subleasing a permit, they lose it altogether and removed, and then the spot is given to a South African that is going to be law abiding. But the thing is, with South Africans, we are law abiding citizens anyway. And we do not want anything that is going to jeopardize our income. So there's no way that they are going to be subleasing their permit because South Africans naturally, we are law abiding citizens. Yes, there are rotten apples here and there, but most of us, we are taught from home, get banded to obey the law. So that's just my prediction regarding the judgment tomorrow. I don't know what your thoughts are. Please put them in the comment section. What do you think the judgment is going to be at the Johannesburg High Court? I think a lot of people are going to cry. And guys, I always say that the people that are illegally in this country, they came here for one thing and one thing only: money. They don't care about the country. They don't care about the people of this country. They have clearly shown us that. So it is in it is upon us as the citizens to close the tap of what they came here for. Close the tap. You do not patronize them, meaning that you don't buy from them. You do not offer them places to do business or stay because it's illegal. You are breaking the law. You are aiding and abetting illegality, and you need to go to prison for that as a South African citizen. So we need to close that tap because once that tap is closed, they will pack up and leave. They will pack up and leave. Sooner or later, South Africans will start going to restaurants and retail stores that are like already Umkhonto Wesizwe is doing. I like what Umkhonto Wesizwe is doing. They are going to businesses. They are going straight into businesses and they're asking for inventory of the employers. And it's turning out that a lot of businesses have employed illegal foreigners, not even one South African. And that is the frustration we need to exert on these businesses. That includes the restaurant or the hospitality industry, which is clearly stated in the Immigration Act that no foreign national is allowed to do such a business or work in such an environment. That environment is for South Africans. So let's hear what goes on that judgment tomorrow. And I'll see you. Goodbye.